Okay, welcome to the follow-up room with Bellawonder. Yes, this is the platform where we have honest conversations about customer retention, about follow-ups, especially for business owners. So I'll be looking through my notes, yes, because I don't want to, miss out of the points that I'll be speaking about today. So, in today's follow-up room, the topic for today's conversation, you have gotten the leads. Now what? It sounds more like a question. You have gotten the leads, you've gotten the inquiries. Now what? What happens next for business owners? Most business owners, they think that the process of getting people to make an inquiry about your business, about your product or services is the most difficult aspect. That's not true, because social media has made it easy for you to get lots of inquiries every day. You can literally come online, post about your goods, post about your services, and you get people making inquiry, asking you about that particular product. But what happens after the inquiries will determine if you are going to close that sales or not. Okay, so today that's the conversation we'll be having today in the follow-up room. If you are here last week, you remember that I made mention that I'll be doing this more often. I'll be doing this consistently. Okay, so if you didn't watch last week video, you can go back and see the video of last week conversation. Now we have decided to call this our conversation the follow-up room. The follow-up room where we have honest conversations about business, about follow-up, customer retention, customer acquisition, and social media marketing and at large. Now, like I said, most business owners think that the process of getting people to make inquiry about their product or services is the most difficult aspect. That is not true. You can get inquiry with social media, right? You can get inquiry with social media. I know you've had experience as a business owner. You've had lots of experience where you posted your goods or your services and you got people, asking questions about that product, and then they ended up not buying, and you assumed that they are not interested in your product or services. I'm here to tell you that that's not completely true. Yes, it is just an assumption, and an assumption remains assumption until you confirm it to be truth. Okay, so how do you confirm that this customer is actually not interested? It is when you follow up on that customer, when you keep up with the conversation. I call it keeping up with the conversation that you have with your customers. Now, the advert journey, see, let me tell you, the people need to see you more than once before they will finally make a buying decision. And bear in mind, you are not the only person selling that particular item. Let's assume you sell this marker, for example. You are not the only business owner that sells marker. There are other business owners who sells that marker. So have it at the back of your mind that what advert will do to you is to give you a wider reach. It is going to give you the audience that you need, right? It moves from advert, people make inquiry, you have conversation with people, they make buying decision. While they are having conversation with you, they are also having conversations with other people as well who sells that particular item that you sell. So it is your duty, to make your own conversation, like to follow through with your own conversation. Okay, so that you will stand a better chance. I'm not saying that is a guarantee. If you follow up on your customer, that is a guarantee for you to close that particular sales. But you stand a better chance when you follow up on your customers. Now, there are different reasons why people don't buy immediately. There are different reasons why people don't buy immediately. People are busy. See, you might think that when someone engages you in a conversation, that is the only thing happening in that person's life. Life can be so unpredictable. I can be chatting with someone about a particular product or services, if you are honest with yourself, it's called that it has happened to you, and it's called that a call will just come into your phone, and then you respond to that call. Maybe the call is from the school, your children's school. Oh, your child is not feeling fine, so thing happens and all. You close everything you are doing, you run off to go and attend to that because it needed your immediate attention. Now what happened? I was on an app trying to place an order. Okay, so because of the dynamics of life, people can be busy, people can forget about what they are doing, right? So I'm trying to list out the reason why people don't buy immediately, and the reason you should make it a point of duty as a business owner to make sure that you are following up on your customer. If you really want to stay in business, follow up is non-negotiable. You have to follow up on your leads, you have to follow up on people who have bought from you if you know that you want to stay in business. Now, people are in the process of comparing prices. Like I said, everybody wants to save money, right? So when you tell somebody about your product, comparison, they are going to compare. They will compare you to others. They will compare your price, compare your quality, compare your, the things you are telling them. Someone else is also saying something else to them, right? So these people are going to compare different scenarios, okay? So it is your duty to follow up on them, give them reasons to buy from you. It's your duty to give them reasons to buy from you. So another reason why people do not buy immediately is because they need more information. They need to be confident that, oh, when I buy this particular product, it is going to solve my problem. Remember I mentioned last week, was it last week or one of my master classes, I mentioned that your product or services is solving a problem for a customer. If you see it that way, you will not see follow-up as a disturbance at all. So if your product or services is actually solving a problem, it means people want to be sure that when they buy that particular product from you, is it going to solve their problem? They want to be sure. Now, it is your duty to communicate that. Okay? Now, another reason why they don't buy immediately, they probably do not trust your business enough. Maybe they are just seeing you for the first time. Yes, they need the product or services, but they are seeing you for the first time. So you have to give them reasons. Probably send them link to your pages, link to your website, testimonial, put in the effort. Show them that you actually want to help them solve that particular problem that they have at the moment. Okay? Now, another reason why people might not buy from you immediately, the timing might not be right. I might need an outfit for a graduation, but the graduation is still in 3 months' time. And then I'm trying to just, do my findings and save them so that when the months end, I have a particular budget or I have a particular ajo. You know what is ajo? Those of us watching me from Nigeria, they understand what ajo means. Ajo is the process of, saving money in a group. It's more of saving money in a group, and then everybody takes turns, to collect their own portion of contribution. So probably that person is saving up for that particular product, and then the timing is not right. And then they reached out to you, they made an inquiry, and then you assume that they don't want to buy. What? That is money that you are leaving on the table, because when you are not in their faces and when they forget about you, when they eventually decide to make a buying decision, they will buy from somewhere else or somebody else that popped up, when they finally decide to make their buying decision. Now, follow up does not mean you chasing a customer. Yes, it doesn't mean that you are chasing a customer. It doesn't mean that you are disturbing a customer. It is an act of service. It is you showing concern, like caring enough about your customers to the point that you actually want them to solve the particular product. Now, how do you now make it not to look as though you are disturbing this particular customer? The best way you can do that is, Each time you are reaching out to the customer, make sure you have something new to say. Your messages shouldn't be spammy, right? Let it be conversational. Let it be that you are picking up a conversation from where you last thought, right? Let it be conversational. Let it be that you are also reaching out to them to update them on some. Maybe you have updated your product, or maybe you have a new offer, or maybe you have a discount for that particular product. You are reaching out to them on something unique, and not just spamming message. Ma, are you still interested? Should I still keep this product for you? Do you still need this? Excuse me, I still doing that in 2026. If you are still doing that, you need to stop right now. Okay, because a lot of things happens after you have gotten the leads. Imagine you spent up to 100,000 naira, 200,000 naira on your advert. Your advert is an investment. That money you are paying Facebook to give you leads. Facebook gives you the numbers of people who are probably interested in your product or services. It is an investment. So you are expecting what? As an investor, you are expecting return on investment. Those people who have indicated interest, either they dropped their phone number or they sent you a DM, they are all your investments. So how you get your return of investment depends on how you respond to these people. What happens after they have indicated? How do you follow up? Do you just leave the messages on Instagram? Costly. It's not your platform. I recommend that you document your leads. You have a customer database where you document all of your leads. You have their data, document their where they came from, and what they intend to buy from you. You document all of these leads. Okay, so that is how you start taking charge of your business. So in case anything happens, you don't leave yourself so stranded. Okay, now when you're able to document all of your leads, you're able to determine, oh, this person bought from me this month, this is the number of people that bought from me last month, this is the number of people that, this is the number of sales that I was able to close this week. You're able to work with data, and when you're working with data, you are making what I call informed decision. So anything you are doing, you are making an informed what? You're making an informed decision. So now, there was this time, let me give you this illustration. There was this time, I've been a social media marketer for over 6 years plus, right? So there was this time I was running a paid advert. Don't forget, our topic for today is, after you have gotten the lead, what? And what next? Like, it's a question to we business owners. So there was this time I was running a paid advert for a client. We started this campaign, and then I set up the campaign. She started getting leads, getting inquiry, people were messaging her, and then the sales rep who was, in the back end of the phone was just responding casually. Someone would ask, how much? She put 100,000. How much for this? 50,000. No conversation, nothing. No, oh man, it will take so day to deliver. You get it delivered seamlessly. This is the quality, this is the description, this is the durability of this particular product. An effort. She wasn't even putting in any effort. After this, I said, blessing. What for me is not working. People are not buying, and all of that. And then I'm like, adverts. The purpose of advert is to send you leads, and people coming into the funnel. She said, yes, people are making inquiry. Then this is not an advert problem. It is the problem of the person responding. She tried to argue with me. Customers will always be customers, clients will always be clients. And then, because of the nature of my business, I'm someone who loves to look at things in details. I love to, follow through something. I took the pen upon myself. I went to a physical store here in the city of Abuja. I'm based in Abuja. So I went to a physical store. I told the sales rep to hand me the phone that the people are making, as in the phone that's connected to their Instagram handle. They gave that phone. I went through the conversation. It was a mess. I was seeing the way she was interacting with customer. I say, what? This is money. Your madam has invested money into this advert. Why are you responding to people with levity, like casually, as if you don't care about this customer and you don't care about the money that has been spent on the advert? I took the phone and then I started responding to just the little that I could do, correcting what I could do. Before I left her shop that day, I closed sales. Why? What made it different? The price she gave to the customers did not change from the price I told them. Of course, it is not my store, so I can't start. I'm not going to start reducing price for anybody. It's just simple clarity and conversation. Now, this business owner will have just listed all of her leads in a database and taken them through a sales process, what I call the sales pipeline. But the problem is, she was trying to, when you're running and a lot of leads are coming at the same time, she was trying to respond to everybody. And sometimes there are some people you will think you have responded to, but it's just in your head. It is just in your head. You've not given a proper response to it. Do you understand? So, when I looked at all of the whole process, I analyzed it, I gave my recommendation and left. Of course, implementation depends on the business owner, because sometimes you can give a recommendation. I can give you a recommendation on what to do. Implementation is what gives you the result. So when you implement, that is when you are going to, get the result. So I recommend you have a customer database, have a CRM you are using for your business. For large business, for large-scale businesses, if you observe, they have systems. They have systems that track their customers. In fact, they track you to the point of sending you your birthday messages on your birthday. How do you think you get messages on every of your birthday if they don't have your data? They will not send you those messages. Okay, recently Samsung launched a phone, right? They started sending me messages on the phone that they are launching. Why? Because they have my data. And they know I once bought their product, so I might be interested in their new launches. Okay, so now for small business owners, because most of these CRM, they are expensive, right? Zoho, let's say Zoho, for example, 200,000 naira, 150,000, 100,000 naira monthly. How many small business owners can sustain that? How many of you can sustain? If you can sustain it, fine. It is very good. It's a very good tool for you to use. Do you understand? You can have someone to set it up. By the way, if you need someone to do all of those setup, your CRM, put everything in place with proper systems to run your business, just click. I'm going to drop link to my WhatsApp on the description of this video, so I can just reach out to me. So, but if you're a small business owner, you are still trying to cut costs and all of that, a simple Google Sheet can help you document your customer database. You document them and then you take them through a sales process. By the way, I have a tracker that I have created. It's something that you can just get one-time payment. I'm even going to put you through the process of how you can use this tracker. Now, it's a one-time payment. This tracker, you can document your customer database. That's your leads. You can document the database of your leads and take them through the sales journey from the point of interest until they finally pay you. Okay, and the interesting thing about this tracker that I created is that it helps you to make your follow-up effective. How do I mean? Now, after you have entered the database of your customers, let's assume Nkechi wants to buy baby walker, she's interested but she has not made payment, okay, and she said you should call her on Friday. All you need to do is to put the date of Friday in your next follow-up, the next time you are meant to follow up on that particular customer. Okay, so same way you put out all of your lists, carefully do them. You have to be intentional about these things. Okay, you have to be intentional about your follow-up process if you really want to build a sustainable business. So when you finish listing them out, now the good thing with this tracker that I created is that it has a section for today's activity. Now, every day for your today's activities, it automatically pulls out the actions, the things you're supposed to do that day to move your business forward. As regards to follow up, the people you are meant to follow up every day, it pops up on today's activities, it populates on its own, so long as the date is accurate. So all you need to do every day, you go to your laptop, phone, anywhere you can access it to your mobile as well, and then you click on the link on people you need to follow up on per day, and then you message them. Life is easy. So if you don't even want that, you can simply go to your Google Sheet, and then set up a simple Google Sheet template that will help you to document the database of your customers. Okay. So if you're a business owner and then you are not following up on your leads, and you are not following up on your customer. If you're a business owner and your intention is just to run sponsored advert, you just run paid ads, and then you think that is all, you are leaving a lot of money on it. You make the money when you follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. The money you are looking for your business is in the follow-up. And you can't keep everything in your head because you will forget. You are human. You are going to forget. And then you can't keep all of your customers in your WhatsApp DM, in your Instagram, your Facebook. They are not your platform. They are all borrowed platform. Okay, so your Google Sheet, you can document your customer database there. Have your platforms that you own. So with your Gmail account, you can open a Google Sheet. You have access to up to 15 gigabyte space to help you store data. You can store as much as you want. So even if you lose your phone, the moment you log into your Gmail, you have access to all of your customers. You have access to all of your customers. So if you're a business owner watching me, I will drop link to my academy, the Follow-Up Academy. It is also an academy that you need to join as a business owner, because inside the academy, everything I just stated here, I teach you how to do them. Because everything I said here, I'm telling you what to do, what you need to do to grow your business, sustain your business. But inside the Follow-Up Academy, I am going to be teaching you what you need to do step by step, to make sure that you are building a sustainable business, not just for your country, but internationally, worldwide, and then you are building a business that can outlive you. Because imagine if you are not there, you are sick, you can hand over your customer database to someone else without necessarily handing your phone to that person, and they will follow up on your customer, close sales for you, do things for you even in your absence. So with that, we have come to the end of today's follow-up room. So see you again next week, where we'll come together to also have conversations around customer retention, follow-up. Don't forget to check the description, because I'll be dropping link for business owners who want to set up CRM, who want a full-blown CRM setup for their business, and then CRM agents, AI agents that is also going to help you close the sales, and then make things seamless for you as a business owner. Because AI, so you want to take advantage of that. And I'll also be dropping link to the Follow-Up Academy. You can just go to the link in my description, and then join the Academy, participate, learn about customer retention, learn about follow-up. Inside the Follow-Up Academy, you are going to get the follow-up tracker and then the customer retention tracker. Yes, I made that available for free inside the Follow-Up Academy. So see you all next week. Thank you.